Welcome to the Parkes Radio Telescope. Got a bit of a funny story about this one. In 1995 I was a surveying student and I was doing a bit of work for a surveyor in Dubbo, and I turned up to his office after returning from university one afternoon and he said, "Oh, I've got this job on at the Parkes Telescope, would you like to come?" And I thought, "Oh yeah, that'd be great." I still had all my clothes and everything packed in the car from coming back from Newcastle, so I headed back to my farm, my family farm, which is down at Yeovil, and then drove myself here and met the surveyor here. The survey had to be done at night because the dish expands during the heat of the day, about 200 mils, so it grows quite a bit with the heat. And what we were doing, this piece of machinery here behind me is actually the receiver cabin, and it was being replaced. So they were cutting off the three legs that hold the receiver dish. They had to know where to cut them off, and the surveyor's job was to work out where that would be, where that cut would happen. So we turned up just on dark and there was all sorts of machinery. There was a row of trees around over here. So we had to climb up inside the tower. There's a spiral staircase, quite narrow, carrying our gear, tripods, all this kind of stuff. And you get up in the middle of the dish. It was pointed directly upwards. And you get up in there and the middle of it is solid plate steel. It's really solid. And then as you go out, it sort of becomes like a perforated steel and expanded mesh. But right at the very edge, that's a steel framework with chicken mesh on it. So the first thing we decided to do was to work out where the centre of the dish was, just to confirm everything. So my job, as the bottom of the food chain, was to hold the dumb end of the tape and go out to the edge of the dish. So I've walked out, and as I came out I realised that this is just a framework with a very small piece of mesh over it. So I'm holding this tape and leaning out to the very edge, and then suddenly the lens from my glasses falls out and about 60 metres to the ground. It's over there somewhere still to this day. It's pitch black, not many lights, so back down the spiral staircase, back to the bottom, look for the lens from my glasses. Couldn't find it. So I had to call my time at that. The surveyor, who was Graham Astley from Dubbo, actually finished the project. As you can see, it has its new receiver cabin without my help. And I had to then drive back to Yeovil with no glasses, which was all sorts of fun because the road wasn't sealed back then. So I was sort of feeling my way by the dirt on the edges of the road. So yeah, that was my experience with the Parkes Radio Telescope.